Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions, LLC, as we're ready to bring you some high school wrestling tonight. With me is, longtime friend and official in Scott Milsnan. Scott, thanks for joining me once again, and I do apologize for calling you late. I'm just a little bit older. That's the problem.
No apologies necessary, Ken. My pleasure. I enjoy doing this, enjoy being around wrestling once again.
You know, this has got to be, I'm thinking about this now, it's got to be like our 7th or 8th year that we've done this.
I'm not positive, but you're in the ballpark, yeah.
I was thinking I was kind of close there, but that's the fun situation, you know, that when you get to work with people and you get to work with somebody that knows wrestling, that's even better. So
does this mean we're getting older?
Just a touch.
Right.
You're not. I am, but you're not. You're still looking like you're out there reffing and everything else. So I think that's great.
It's good to see fans in the stands again. Last year was really an odd year with the COVID thing. It just wasn't the same as an official. It took a lot of the fun out of it, honestly.
I would wonder that wouldn't do that. So that is interesting with something like that. Well, let's take a look here. We're going through. So here's what's going on, folks. Is they're doing introductions, but we already know that there's going to be some switching. There's going to be some moving. So we're not all that worried. I'm not all that worried about doing the introduction part here right now because I think down the road here we're going to see some movements. We do know there's going to be a double forfeit at 6 and 13 because the wrestlers, neither team having somebody in those two weight classes. So that remains to be seen on what's going to happen in the upper weights. So Scott, real quick, you've been doing some officiating, and you had a tournament the other day, Saturday. How'd that go?
I had a tournament at Royal in Elroy. Very strong tournament. It's been a good tournament in the past. This year they bumped it up. I don't remember exactly how many teams they had in the past. This year I believe we had 26 teams. And some really tough kids. Iowa Grant is solid top to bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Poinette's got a couple of studs. The Dells has some studs. West Salem. I mean, there's a lot of good kids in the area. Again, it was really fun to see. And I didn't catch your, Ken, what weight we're starting at. We're going to know shortly.
120.
120, all right.
Which is interesting because the forfeit's at 6 and 13, so we'll just go right up the line. That'll be kind of nice.
Almost like it was rigged.
No, come on. Oh, shoot. Well, what we're going to do tonight, folks, is Scott is going to keep an ear out for the changes as we come out onto the mat. Right now, they're doing the pre-match activity, which basically, Scott, is they come out, they flip the coin, they flip the disc, and that determines what?
The flip of the disc determines who will have choice at the beginning of each weight class. And say tonight we're starting at 120. So if Westby has choice at 120, means that their wrestler has to report to the table first. Once he reports, he cannot be pulled back. Cashton, obviously, or the opponent will report second. And the other significance of that, or the other meaning of that, is at the end of the first period, that team that has choice in that weight class has the original choice of whether to choose top, bottom, neutral, or defer.
Okay. So it can be a bit of a strategic coin flip, in other words.
Definitely. And don't kid yourself. Coaches have gone over this in their heads and on paper. They know what they want ahead of time, which matchups are going to be the pivotal ones. So,
well, I do remember that in my years of coaching and sitting down with the coaches, and we do the what-if scenario. And you know what? It's a good thing that you do that, because somewhere along the way, if you think long and hard enough, you're going to wind up in that situation where, we got to make this move right here, right now. And most of the time, I was fortunate enough with my coaching staff they were much smarter at it than I was. So
Did the matches always go the way you had them drawn out on paper?
I would say, yeah, honestly, I'll give you the honest answer. I would say 75% of the time it did.
Okay.
But that 25% that didn't, you're going, oh God. When that happens, then you're just gonna catch it, you know. But you know that's why you're the head coach, and you make those decisions to try and come up with the best scenario for your team to win your dual meet.
That's why you make the big bucks.
Yeah, right. Well, let's take a look here, Scott. In fact, let's do this. Let me just mention. I'm going to just hit up on our sponsors like American Family Insurance, the Phil Strand Agency, ADRC, Aging and Disability Resource Center of Vernon County, located in Viroqua, the Bank of Cashton. They're on Front Street, and Bobby John's in Cashton. Those are some of our sponsors, and that's how we're going to kind of roll tonight, is we're going to try and mention at least 4 of them at a time until we get down to the end, because we don't know exactly how many matches we will have. We could have up to 7 and maybe more if they maneuver, but if they don't maneuver, maybe we'll only have 6. We'll have to wait and see. Coming out onto the mat, we're going to go at 120 pounds.
120 pounds.
So Emmanuel Harder, I heard.
And I did not catch the other name. I believe that is Brock Hoskins, Ken.
You know, it kind of looks like the lanky young man. So, well, do you want opening honors?
Let's give it a whirl.
All right.
Whistled away at 120 pounds, Emmanuel Harder from Cashton. Emmanuel's a sophomore. Coming in, Brock Hoskins. We hope this is who it is. I'm pretty sure we've got it right, Ken.
I think you're
senior.
right. Yep.
Brock, a wrestler that I do recall seeing several times. Tough kid, senior, being able to wrestle at 120. Strong, very lean. No fat on that young man.
No.
We're off the mat at 119 to go in the first, but and I don't recall for sure, but I believe Brock made it through at least the sectionals last year.
He did. I'm pretty sure you're right on that.
And part of the reason I'm thinking that is I was one of the officials here at the regionals. But no points scored here, almost a minute into the first. Head alongside head. Emmanuel, a young man that I haven't seen a lot of. Not totally new to wrestling, but relatively inexperienced. But one of those kids, from what I've seen, you know, he's going to come out and he's going to give everything he's got. And nice little shot there. He's in on a single, but Brock defending it very well, kind of backing out of it. Almost got the 2, and there it is. 2-point takedown for Brock Hoskins. 30 seconds to go in the first. We'll be riding with a 2-0 advantage to Brock Hoskins. Working a deep half there on the left side. He's got a half and a wrist going. Not able to get it all the way in, but then now bringing Emmanuel back across his body and scoring some near fall points. Our official tonight is a new one to me, I believe. Schenkel, I was told was his name. Justin Trakel is a military guy, is my understanding. New to the area, not new to wrestling.
Right. And I think they're going to call the pin here just before the buzzer. And they will, Scott. So a 2-minute pin time is, I guess, what you would have to say, or 1:59.9.
Yeah, exactly.
But the pin, you know, and all that is when they slap the mat, the pin was there before that. I mean, it's just, you know, you're counting your 2 seconds, and then you have to signal, and that's how you signal.
Exactly, Ken, and we've both been in that position, I'm sure. I know
Yes.
I have, where you've determined that the pin is there, and whether you've blown the whistle or slapped the mat, doesn't matter. Once you decide it's a pin, it's a pin.
Yep. There's nothing to score here. Our thanks going out to Cashton Building Supply and CBS Design, Cashton Building Supply and CBS Design, Cashton Farm Supply helping us out, as well as Chaseburg Farmers Union Co-op and Coon Valley Telecommunications. Well, we take a look here now. Who do we have
We're at 126, Ken. The Cashton wrestler I did catch is Caleb Klinkner. The Westby wrestler I did not catch again. I don't know if they didn't announce it or if I'm going deaf.
Let's take a look here. And I have to admit, I'm not sure who this is right now.
I did hear Ryland come from the crowd, Ken. I'm assuming this is Ryland Apt, a freshman from Westby.
That's why I wouldn't know him. I hardly know any of those freshmen anymore. It's been a while. So let's take a look here, Apt, now, as they'll break free here. Well, I tell you what, if Klinkner is, no, Ethan there, this is Caleb, all right. Ethan Klinkner at 45, that's where he was last year, but this is going to be Caleb, a sophomore, taking on Apt, a freshman. These two wrestlers kind of, they'll lock up with each other forehead to forehead, but then they'll kind of break away here as they stalk each other. Now trying to snap and spin around is Apt. He's there for the takedown on a nice snap and spin, and he'll take the early lead at 2-0. Under a minute to go in the period. Boy, it took him a full minute before a takedown is going to be registered. But they were kind of cautious with each other, Scott.
Exactly. Early season, Cashton was at the Royal Tournament on Saturday, so they got some matches. But still, you've got a freshman and a sophomore out there. It's kind of a big stage for young guys.
Yes, very, very much so. Well, we're going to get locked hands, so a technical violation is going to be whistled here on Ryland Apt, and that means that Klinkner will pick up a point and cuts into that lead, now 2-1. Getting back into referee's position with 35 seconds remaining, a fresh start. And, well, now they're going to blow the whistle again. And this might be, and I don't mean this in a mean or bad way, that might have been on our new official a little bit.
Partly that, and I believe you're right, Ken. I just noticed he is using a hand whistle, hand buzzer, and my personal opinion, I used one time last year with the COVID situation.
Yeah.
And if that thing were in a million pieces, it wouldn't be enough. Let's say I'm not a fan of the hand buzzer.
Just a little bit.
They're tough to get used to, and I'm sure this is the first or one of the first matches for our official, and
right
for the season, and it's an adjustment.
Well, and bottom line is, glad to have young officials out there because, people are getting older, and the decisions of, stepping away from the sport, not wanting to officiate. The COVID had something to do with some of that. Some officials did not come back. We need those young people out there, and I'm just happy that we got one.
Absolutely. There's been a handful of experienced guys that I know of, just as somewhat in our area, Ken, that have stepped down in the last couple of years. And by all means, if anybody out there listening has any interest in officiating, contact your local AD, contact any official. We'd be glad to take you out on the mat. You can do some shadowing, and and it's a lot of fun. Some of my better friends are people that I met through wrestling.
Yeah,
I'm sitting next to one of them. So.
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, let's take a look here. Apt actually started on top. Klinkner had the choice. I believe Klinkner had the choice.
Yes, he did, and he chose down.
And right now he's on his side, trying to make sure he does not get tilted beyond that 45 or 90-degree angle into that 45, because you hit that 45 and our official will start counting for back points. Right now, Apt doing a good job, though, with the right. He's got to be careful, get out on the side. Otherwise, he could get warned for stalling on a parallel right. Doing a little better job with that right now, trying to, again, stack up his opponent here in Klinkner. And again, this is Caleb Klinkner, sophomore for Cashton. Cashton with a lot of sophomores and juniors, so they are going to be, ready and primed for next year too.
Klinkner, one of those guys, and like you, Ken, I'm not familiar with Apt from Westby, but Klinkner is one of those guys that if it's a 6-minute match, he is going to give you 6 minutes.
He will keep going, yes. And you'll see that with Ethan coming up at 145. That's the way he is too. I mean, it's just, and he was that way on the football field.
Exactly. Yes.
It was fun to watch him when he was playing.
One of those guys you did not want to play against across from.
Oh man, I would think so. 25 seconds remaining here. That was Apt, who was warned for stalling. He was caught riding just a little bit too parallel. Now throwing in a half Nelson here on the left-hand side, trying to push Klinkner's head down to the mat. Klinkner with good reaction, getting back to his base, trying to fight this off. He's down to 5 seconds remaining in period number 2. And that'll be the buzzer. Apt will have his choice, Scott.
Ryland Apt doing a nice job there, Ken. Got that half in deep, and technique-wise really good, but Klinkner just able to crank down on it and did not allowing him to turn.
Exactly. That was a great effort on his part, because it could have been kind of ugly for him in a moment. So here we are with the start of period number 3 and a 2-1 score. Apt in the down position, but having that 1-point lead. So, it used to be in the old days, Scott, back when you and I probably wrestled, being on top was considered the advantage. I don't know if that's true anymore.
That's a definite change, and that's several years. It seems that's been an effect. And like you said, back in our day, you wanted that top position because you were fully intending on turning that guy with a half Nelson, an arm bar, double arm bar, whatever. You were working for the pin. Now it's more of a generation of working for points. And,
Yep.
And I guess I'm not saying either one is wrong. It's whatever they're comfortable with. But it seems like the modern style of wrestling is that points wrestling rather than the pin wrestling.
Yep. Well, there's a reversal coming up here for Apt, and Ryland will take a 4-1 lead on Caleb Klinkner. Right now, under a minute to go, he's getting a little bit high. Klinkner now has himself a cradle situation. He's going to get the 2 reversal and trying to get some back points. He's just trying to get that tilt going a little bit here. There's the count. Klinkner now will have a lead here. If they keep this position until the buzzer sounds, Klinkner would come back with the win. Now scooting up on top, it's going to be a reversal back. 3 near fall, 2 reversal. And I think the math would say we should be tied.
Yeah, Ken, I've been watching the scoreboard there, and I believe our scorers table has got it correct. Now we're caught up. We're at 6-6.
Okay.
Ryland Apt in control.
Well, we're going to go into a sudden victory overtime here tonight. How about that? So, Scott, real quick, tell us what's going to happen in this first period.
The first overtime is a 1-minute sudden victory, as you said. First point scored wins. They'll start neutral on their feet, and first point scored will win. And keep in mind, we do have a stalling warning against Ryland Apt.
Yep, that's right.
And that can end in match. That's not usually how you see it. It's going to have to be pretty blatant for that to be called, but
right.
Not saying that it can't happen.
So here we go with the match and a sudden victory. 1 minute, as Scott mentioned. They're going to lock up each other here. And really in this position, nobody's going to do anything. They'll make it look good. But to get down below, you got to somehow break free of that ear-to-ear connection. One of the things you could do is to, depending on which wrestler wanted to, you start looking into your opponent's ear. That puts some pressure on the head and kind of opens up the side that you're pressuring. Well, there was an opportunity for Klinkner to go after a takedown, but he didn't go with it. And now trying to come up with a throw. Not going to happen. Apt ducks underneath it, and he'll pick up the 2 and the victory. And so it winds up 8-6 and a 3-point advantage here, team-wise, for the Norsemen.
Good match. I'll give Klinkner credit for being aggressive, for going for that head throw, but that's probably not, in retrospect, the best place to be looking for a head throw. But
right.
And maybe he saw something or felt something that told him, if that's his move, his specialty, his go-to. Not saying he's wrong.
Right. Well, let's see what we have coming up here. 132 pounds. Our thanks going out to, let's mention our sponsors, Culver's of Viroqua, the Daily Brew Company right here in Westby, Eagle Title Company, and Evinger's Equipment Sales and Service helping us out tonight. Well, we turn the mic back over at 132 pounds to Scott Milsna.
I did once again, Ken, and I don't know if it's the sound system or Roger or what. This is Abe Harder of Cashton at 132. Abe is a sophomore.
Okay.
I did not catch the Westby wrestler's name. They've got Blake Hansen listed, but whether or not that's accurate, I don't know. Maybe you can catch that, Ken.
I'll try and catch it.
We're 30 seconds in to the first with no score. Harder and the mystery wrestler head alongside head. Some ties, the forearm against the shoulder, kind of a pushing, trying to shuck, establish position, but nothing yet. And they break contact face to face. 1 minute left, 1:03 to be exact, left in the first period.
It is Blake out there, Scott.
Blake Hansen. All right, thanks, Ken.
Yep, thanks to Gary Gilbertson on that one.
Good neighbors, good neighbors.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta have that, right?
Blake in and a nice shot, double leg, picking Harder up off the mat, returning him. He does have the 2-point takedown. Got Harder in a bit of a predicament there. Blake sliding out to a headlock. Strong headlock there with 30 seconds left. Blake Hansen in good position. If he's able to pick that head up a little bit, he should have 3-point near fall. I'm not seeing that indicated at this point, but I'm assuming he's got the 3. Ken.
Yeah, you would certainly think so.
Very close to pin from our angle. 8 seconds left. 5 seconds. Blake still working for the pin. Harder working for a chance to see the second period. There is the buzzer. It's going to be a 3-point near fall for a 5-0 lead for Blake Hansen from Westby.
On Thursday evening, I will be traveling to Viroqua. It'll be the Blackhawks and their first home meet wrestling match. They will be tangling with an opening Cooley Conference matchup with the Arcadia Raiders as they come to town. So be ready for that one, folks. And then on Friday night, back in Viroqua one more time, and it'll be the boys basketball team. We'll get a chance to see them in one of their first games of the year. They do have a couple under their belt already.
They're going to keep you busy at night, Ken.
They do. There's always something going on. My reprieve is Wednesday night.
You better behave. To start the second period, Abe Harder of Cashton did have choice. He deferred. Blake Hansen from Westby did choose the neutral position. So with that 5-0 lead, 1:24 left in the first period, Blake Hansen leading on that double leg, which switched to a headlock for a 3-point near fall. And again, like I said, 5-0 lead. Blake Hansen, 1:10 left in the first. Both wrestlers on their feet. And again, this is I'm going to call this just a struggle for position, trying to set something up, trying to set up a shot, a shuck, whatever it is they feel comfortable with trying to score a takedown with. Harder with Hansen getting underneath, looking for a single leg, double leg. Harder with the underhooking, get kind of a front headlock the way it looks here, which is it's one of those moves you need to be careful with. It's legal, but if he starts cranking that, getting angles on it, then we're going to run into an illegal hold situation. Clock counting, 20 seconds left in the first. Hansen in there, got that single, just not able to bring it up. The score, as I say that, he is able to pick it up. He switches off to a double, but still Harder backing away, hip pressure down on him, not allowing Hansen to get in for the takedown.
Tell you what, that was a pretty good effort there by both wrestlers. Hansen had a nice little duck under, and as soon as he hit that duck under, Harder got those legs back and put all kinds of pressure on the head and shoulders of Hansen. So, you know, it was one of those where who could get the angle, and they were both stalemated in a sense.
Hansen definitely the aggressor, I would say, but Harder doing a nice job with that sprawl and fending him off.
And Harder, if they wind up in the neutral position again, Harder's got to be a little careful because he wound up with his arms on the outside, and Hansen had inside position the whole time. And again, only because of Harder's quick reaction was he able to fight off any takedown there.
Absolutely. Third period choice did go to Harder. He chose down, which, as we touched on a few minutes ago, Ken, seems to be the way these days. Harder and his coaches feeling that he's got a better chance of scoring from the bottom with an escape, maybe a reversal, and going to have some points of his own. He's going to need some takedowns and or near falls to get back in this. Trailing 5-0 with 1:10 to go, third period. Hansen doing a nice job here, riding strong, changing it up, so he doesn't get that stalling warning. But and that's, as we both know, kind of very arbitrary thing. You know, what one side of the gym thinks is stalling, the other side might think is good wrestling.
It's 50-50.
It's if he's not... if he's not able to do anything with the bottom man, it's hard to call that stalling. And if the bottom man is working, trying to stand up, trying to get the escape or the reversal, you certainly can't hit him either. So
right. So I was looking down at my paper, Scott, when the warning was called here. Who was warned?
It must have been Harder, the bottom man, because if the top man is stalled, you stop the match.
You have to stop the match. Correct. Yeah.
And it's simply, that's the official's decision. If he doesn't feel that bottom man is doing enough to escape, to stand up, to get the reversal, it is what it is. If he says it's stalling, it's stalling.
No discussion.
20 seconds left on the restart here. Harder just not able to get out, and not because he doesn't want to. It's just Hansen is doing that good of a job on that tight waist, working arms, wrists, overpowering, if I can say that. That is the end of this match. At 132 pounds, Blake Hansen of Westby going to be your winner, 5-0 over Abe Harder of Cashton.
Take the team score now, 12-0 in favor of the Norsemen over the Eagles of Cashton. Our thanks going out to Embroidery and More right here in Westby. Gunnarsson Health is the Viroqua Clinic. Thanks to Main Street Designs, Leah Kroom, and Main Street Mobile Mart, your Synergy mobile fuel in Viroqua. Well, let's see if we can catch these. Going to be a forfeit here at 138. I think that's Tirado.
Onisimo Tirado.
Onisimo. And we'll see if we have a Norseman coming out. Ethan Klinkner has already been announced here, Scott.
Westby has Dominic Hansen listed, but again, program may have been...
I heard that Dominic kind of got banged up a little bit at that Reedsburg tournament, so he might not go tonight.
Yeah.
I think they're going to hold him back.
And I did not have a chance to talk to Rob Kerner, the Westby coach, beforehand. So,
yep. So they will hold back Hansen.
But that Ken, I apologize. That was not Ethan Klinkner at 145 receiving that forfeit.
Oh,
either.
It wasn't. Okay. Was that Gavin Anderson or was it Damian Mellon? Damon. Yeah, I bet it was Damian.
That looks like Damian Mellon, Ken.
Yeah. Another forfeit. Okay. So Klinkner moves up to 52 to receive a forfeit.
$160 for Cashton. This is Colin O'Neill. Oh, excuse me, Ken. I'm wrong. This is Brett Hemmerspach.
Yep. All right. Keep bumping up the line here, but we knew some of that was coming. Now I think Westby has to bring their guy out here at 160. Maybe, maybe not.
Where you should be at 170, Ken.
Oh, 170. Yeah. So they just keep bumping everybody up a weight class. Well, let's take a look here. Might as well mention Nordic Lanes right up here in Westby. Premier Co-op bringing you tonight's wrestling match. The Right Choice Construction, Rich and the crew, and the Riverbank supporting our broadcast tonight. Wow, another forfeit.
This is Jack Schleisner, Ken, at 182, receiving that forfeit.
Okay.
$195, I believe this is going to be Jack Schreier.
Oh, Jack is at 95? Okay.
Yes, it is Jack Schreier versus Ty Nottestead, Ken.
All right, so Ty Nottestead coming out onto the mat here at 195 pounds. Nottestead a junior, as is Schreier, you said?
Jack Schreier, correct.
Okay. We got Jack Schreier and Jack Schleisner, and I want to make sure I was saying the right one. So give credit where it's due, I guess. Nottestead does a quick snap, now trying to come up with an Iowa, and Schreier doing a good job of fighting that off. Back down to the knee. Still no takedown here in these opening 20-some seconds. Now trying to reach up over the top here. Nottestead, a very tall, lanky wrestler. He winds up draping over the top and picking up the takedown. Looking for a cradle, which is something that he's not too bad at. Has that locked up and bringing Schreier, exposing his back, and the referee giving the count here. We'll see how much will be given here. Actually, he has to break the hold there. He's broken that. It's going to be a 3 near fall.
Yeah, as you said, Ken, very nice, well-executed cradle by Ty Nottestead, and that height definitely helping him there.
He's got those long arms and long legs. Now he runs over the wrist and a half, and now has Schreier in a lot of trouble. Arching his back a little bit, looking up in good position here. He's on his toes. Schreier trying to keep that shoulder off the mat here on that right side. Now picking up the arm, trying to stretch that out. Nottestead goes with a reverse half Nelson, and there's the pin. A 153 pin time for Ty Nottestead of the Westby Norsemen. And we take a look here now. Cashton, with those forfeits, have picked up 36 points, and Westby now has cut the lead in half here, unless they haven't added the points. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying that much attention.
I was not either, Ken. I apologize.
36-18 is what they have on the scoreboard here. We'll have to listen in on this one.
I believe this is Tanner Seekert from Cashton at 220.
And Jake Collins here. Wrestling at 220, and we turn the mic back over to Scott Mills now.
Tanner Seekert Cashton, junior, and I believe Tanner took the year off, whether by choice or if it was injury or COVID related, but I don't think he wrestled last year. Had wrestled previously, but coming back now as a junior. Tanner in on a nice shot there on the single leg, and Collins had that right leg, did a nice job and almost let it go, but was able to recover for the 2-point takedown. Jake Collins here, a senior, Ken. Not as familiar, I don't recall him, but...
Jake wrestled last year, and he wrestled, he might have taken a year off, I don't remember exactly, but, he wrestled all the way through the elementary program and middle school and stuff, and tell you what, he has worked hard at transforming his body from football to wrestling.
And on cue there, Ken, a nice reversal by Collins at the edge of the mat. Able to come around for the 2-point reversal to tie the score up 2-2. And immediately Collins in there digging, working for a half, working for something trying to turn Tanner Seekert. Not successful so far, but as I say that, able to get that half in really deep. Chest to chest, Collins is maybe a little high. Now he's able to get the legs loose, get back chest to chest. 12 seconds left in the first. Seekert hanging on, but can run 10 seconds short, 9 seconds short. We've got a pin at 151, Ken.
Yeah, that was a nice turnaround there if you're a Collins fan by chance. And for Seekert, he just kind of gave up that arm a little bit, and that'll come back to him.
And for both of these teams, Ken, I think we're seeing a lot of jitters. I think we're seeing a lot of inexperience. Give these guys another month, give them 10 more matches, you're going to see some different looking wrestlers.
A couple more of our sponsors, Rural Mutual Insurance, Kevin Blusky supporting the broadcast tonight, Scenic Bluffs Community Healthcare, Sealand's Carpet Land, and Sleepy Hollow bringing you tonight's action. Well, here we go at 285 pounds. Austin Culpet stepping out onto the mat, and he's got a tough one in Dylan Nottestead. But these two guys, well, of course, Nottestead, state place winner. Culpet making the sectionals last year. I thought he really grew as the season went along last year. And here he is now as a junior.
Yeah, definitely, Ken. There's another classic example. From the beginning of the year to the end of the year, Culpet came a long ways and didn't probably get the best draw tonight.
No.
Dylan, very respectable, and he has been for several years here. And a good kid, a good wrestler, and a good young man.
Yeah, he's very polite, and it's just one of those where he's been brought up right. He understands the sport. He understands the respect of your opponent, and those are huge things. We have a quick timeout. While they do that, I can catch up a little bit since this will be our last match of the evening. We can take a look here. We'll put the camera over here on the coaching staff of the Norsemen. We want to say thanks to Snowflake Ski and Golf helping us out tonight. Vernon Communications right here in Westby and also in Viroqua. Vernon Electric Cooperative out there on Saugstead Road, and Vernon Manor Healthcare Center on the north side of Viroqua. So a little blood time here, Scott, and maybe for the fans, maybe talk a little bit about what the ruling is on that situation.
Blood is a 5-minute cumulative, meaning doesn't matter the number of timeouts. They can stop it twice. They can stop it 10 times. As long as we don't go over 5 minutes, we're good. Once we've gone past that 5-minute mark and the bleeding is not controlled, the match is injury default, I guess, or blood default. Right. The opponent will win. Contrary to standard injury time, let's say you hurt an arm, a leg, a knee, or whatever, it's 1.5 minute injury time. Stop the first time, you record the time. If you have to stop a second time, the opponent gets choice when you resume wrestling. he has to stop a third time, it's done. It's an injury default.
Yep.
And then to back that one a step further, if it's head, neck, cervical, which is a separate 5-minute, if a trainer is present, the second stoppage on that is a default.
Default, yeah. Well, here we are. Boyd Nottestad went into a half and a wrist and basically jumped over the side and had Culpet turned really quick, and there's the pin. It's a 1:04 pin time, I guess we'll call it. 1:04 pin time, and that's going to wind up. Does that tie the match up, or is it?
Should make it 36-30.
It is 36-30 now. Okay, and that means that the match that at 285. So then
we have one exhibition match.
An exhibition match coming up here for us, but this will be the final team score, 36-30 in favor of Cashton. But Scott, we're going to get one exhibition out of the way here. We get those names.
Ty Harbaugh of Westby, and I believe this is Chris Tirado.
Okay. They'll come out onto the mat. I want to say thanks to, real quick, how about, I think I said Vernon Manor Healthcare, Vernon Memorial Healthcare helping us out, VFW of Viroqua, the Viroqua Booster Club, and the Viroqua Dental Center supporting tonight's broadcast. Well, let's do the exhibition match here with Scott.
Got a couple of big boys here, Ken. Chris Tirado listed at 220. I believe that is what he wrestled at on Saturday. Versus Ty Harbaugh, listed at 285 or at heavyweight. He is a long ways towards that. Big, tall, strong young man. Tirado got in there, nice position underneath. Had a bit of an advantage, but Harbaugh kind of having nothing to do with that, and able to secure a takedown of his own and a 2-point near fall. So we've got a 4-0 score, 1 minute to go, first period.
And a couple of years ago, Harbaugh was the heavyweight, the varsity 285-pounder, because Nottestad was at 220.
Okay.
But then Nottestad kept growing, and actually Harbaugh is working his way down to get to 220, and he'll challenge probably Jake. I'm sure they'll have to have some wrestle-offs along the way, the couple of seniors there, but that's what I understand as being the plan right now for the Norsemen.
And, you give Harbaugh credit. That would have been an easy spot for him to throw in the towel and walk away from wrestling. But to his credit, and you never know, who's to say some evening Dylan's not tired or injured and they need him there in that heavyweight spot. So
gives him good flexibility.
Hats off to Ty Harbaugh. Winding down here, last 5 seconds of the first period, Harbaugh maintaining that 4-0 lead. There is the buzzer. 4-0 in favor of Ty Harbaugh from Westby.
Taking a look. Go ahead there, Scott.
Sorry, Ken. This is an exhibition match, so rather than the standard flipped toss at the beginning determining it, the referee just tossed our disc, and I believe Tirado deferred and Harbaugh choosing down here to start the second period.
I was just going to mention a little bit here about this match where Westby has already picked up the win, and we better go back to you.
Tirado jumped out front, kind of a front quarter Nelson, I guess, front headlock. Harbaugh able to work out of that and get the reversal. 6, we must have gotten a 3, and I didn't catch Ken. 2-point reversal, 3-point near fall is going to make it 9-0 in favor of Harbaugh from Westby. Harbaugh, again, a little bit high, but working in there really strong on the half Nelson armbar series. Nothing yet, kind of working to curl Tirado up into a cradle the way it looks from here. Breaking him down flat now. Harbaugh getting behind, riding parallel, got a force half going there. But Torado kind of turning away from it, able to get that left arm down and work out of it.
You know, he has a good feel for defending that. Almost made a mistake by reaching over the head, but he realized what he was doing and stopped that in a hurry.
That just never has a good outcome for the guy on the bottom, Ken.
No, not at all.
Harbaugh, again, just a strong ride there. The way it looks from our standpoint, I'd say overpowering. It still is staying aggressive, working a little cross-face cradle there right now. But Torado, as you said, Torado got a feel for how to defend that and doing a pretty good job at this point. Now Harbaugh in there deep on a half, but too little too late. Turning him at the buzzer, I think he may have gotten a 1 count, but not enough for a near fall.
Well, thanks going out to the Westby Co-op Credit Union helping us out tonight with the broadcast, the Westby Co-op Creamery, and, of course, Varsity Funeral Home, thanks to Jay and the family, as well as Viroqua Food Co-op and the Viroqua Dental Center. Dr. Leon Klum, tell you what, there's a wrestling family.
Absolutely, yes. 1:43 left, third period. Harbaugh tying up, working for that inside hand position, putting some neck pressure on, now backing away. But Torado not giving up, going right back in there. Give them both credit. I mean, a lot of times this is the time of the match where you see these big guys looking for a little extra air. And these two are still going at each other. And Torado coming close to a takedown there, not quite getting it, but got that right arm of Harbaugh, but not giving it up. Torado standing behind, no points scored yet, but that should be a 2 right there, Ken, with the hands touch.
Yep.
But Harbaugh coming around, and whether we're a takedown or reversal, it's going to be a takedown and a pin at this point. But give these guys credit for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and 10 seconds. They went at each other pretty good.
They really did. You know, that's fun to see. That's what that's what the sport is about, to get out there and get after some things. And they both were doing exactly what they had to try and do here. So congratulations to them. Harbaugh will pick up the win, as Scott mentioned. Well, that will be the end of the match, and I know I had said something, and I tried to retract that. It's Cashton coming up with the win, 36-30. Why don't we go with a quick little recap here, Scott? I know you were writing down a bunch of that. We might as well do that real quick before we call it an evening.
I did my best, Ken, and we'll, if I can read my own writing, we started the night at 1:20. Emmanuel Harder of Cashton versus Brock Hoskins of Westby. That was our 159.9 second pin, going to Brock Hoskins of Westby. 126, Caleb Klinkner versus Ryland Apt. A couple of young freshmen, sophomores going at it there. Good match. Give both of those guys credit. Ryland Apt prevailing 8-6 in overtime. At 132, Abe Harder, Blake Hansen. Blake coming away with a 5-0 victory there. Dominated that match. Blake really took it to him, did what he had to do, and went out and earned that 5-0 victory. At 138, Onisimo Torado of Cashton receiving a forfeit. At 145, we're pretty sure Damian Mellon of Cashton receiving a forfeit. 152, a forfeit going to Ethan Klinkner. 160, Brett Hemmerschbach with a forfeit. 170, Colin O'Neill of Cashton receiving a forfeit. At 182, Jack Schleisner with a forfeit again. 195, Ty Nottestead of Westby with a pin over Jack Schreier in 153. 220, Jake Collins of Westby, a 151 pin over Tanner Seekert. And at 285, Dylan Nottestead with a 104 pin over Austin Culpet. And as you said, Ken, 106 and 113, both double forfeits. And I did notice, and for both teams, especially Westby here, whether it be the injury bug, the illness bug, they've got some names printed on the program that guys weren't able to step on the mat tonight. And there again, another case of give these guys a couple of weeks, and this is a different show here.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I had a chance to talk to head coach Rob Kerner, and actually we'll try and play the interview that I had with him for the rebroadcast. We ran out of time for this, but he even said that the big thing right now is to get everybody healthy. They could get as many as 5 guys back for this weekend's Toma Scramble, and if they can get 5 of them back, that's like the Green Bay Packers getting 3 guys back for their defense.
Oh, exactly. It's this Westby team, there's a lot of youth there. They've got a few seniors, but a lot of young guys going to be stepping in here and making some big contributions. And just hats off. I wish them luck. I hope that they are able to get those guys back. I mean, these coaches, the other wrestlers, these guys work their tails off.
Yep.
They put in a lot of hours, and it's nice to see them be able to have that full team at full strength and be as competitive as possible.
So we know, and I like say, like you're saying too, you have that full strength. We know it's coming. It's just a matter of time. But right now, Cashton picking up the win, 36-30. They had the wrestlers. They have the people there. They have nice numbers too. You look at that, and looks like they, probably got somewhere in that 16-17 range as far as wrestlers out there. And that says a lot for both teams. Looking forward to more wrestling down the road here.
Looking at the program, Ken, and looking at the scoreboard, Jaden Geyer, Brock Hoskins, Brock did wrestle, I guess, but they've got names at 106 and 113 for Westby.
Yep.
The first 2 able bodies there, Westby wins this duel 42-36. So
could have happened, yeah.
And that's another. One of those things that you've seen many, many times in wrestling. Doesn't seem like 1 or 2 weight classes makes a big difference sometimes, but you take you get 6 instead of giving up 6. Hey, a 12-point swing, that's huge. Makes this look like a different ball game tonight.
That's for sure. Well, Scott, thanks for helping us out again here. The match, we're done in just a little bit less than an hour. We kind of suspected that, knowing that some people are not going to be able to wrestle, but it's always a pleasure having you come up, and we always jumpstart our season with you and I working the Cashton Westby match.
A lot of fun, Ken. I appreciate being here, and it's good seeing you again.
You too. And we'll keep things going. We're going to keep each other posted on things. We'll look forward to, hopefully we'll do something before team sectionals like we always wind up doing too.
Exactly.
We'll try to do that. So, well, for Scott Milsna, I'm Ken Manning saying thanks for watching. We hope you've enjoyed watching this Western Wisconsin video production of Westby Wrestling as the Norsemen lose a close one here, 36-30 to the Cashton Eagles. Stay tuned for more wrestling coming up on Thursday evening. I'll be back in Viroqua for a dual meet Cooley Conference matchup, the Blackhawks taking on the Arcadia Raiders. Until then, stay warm, and we'll see you somewhere back on the mats. So long for now.